How's it going? Okay.
Concerns about Michigan State? What kind of pops out when you look at them?
Big, physical, good, hard-running football team, and also throw the ball extremely well. I think exceptionally well for a team that, I guess, at least from my perspective, has prided itself on being a kind of a pro-style running football team. I think they throw the ball very, very well. They got some tall wideouts that play the ball well, and have a great skill sets and a quarterback that I think is playing really, really well for a young guy in this league. So, like any offense, it's tough to defend. The more weapons there are, the harder it is, and they've got some a variety of weapons to choose from.
Coach, I just asked Coach Ash the same thing, but Ross Douglas has interest in being a coach. He's talked about that before. What kind of future or advice do you see with his interest in doing that?
Better, if he's planning on getting married, he better have a very, very independent wife. That's the first piece of advice I give him. He's an exceptionally bright young man. He picks up football well. If that's what he chooses to do, he'll have a great future in coaching. Obviously, there's a lot of things you have to go through to work your way up the ranks, in terms of low pay and long, hard hours to start out with, and then hopefully it gets better as you move along in the profession. But as long as he understands those things, if that's his passion, if that's his love, if that's the dream that he wants to pursue, then I'm sure he'll be a great one if that's what he sticks with.
Jay, you got some extended playing time after the lightning delay, I think, for Fogg and DeVera, two young guys,
Yeah.
and anybody else who I might not have seen out there on the field. What did your evaluation from seeing them maybe in their most extensive looks?
Well, I thought Tyshawn had exceptional production for the amount of plays he was out there, tackles, assists. He got around the ball. He's got a fresh set of legs right now because, as you guys probably know, he missed a couple weeks with being dinged up, so we weren't able to get him out on the field, and this was really a great opportunity to do it. So I thought he showed well and had a really productive set of plays while he was out there. Brendan didn't get quite as many, but it was good for him to get out there and get his feet wet. Those two went out, really attacked it, and had fun with it, honestly. And talking to him afterwards, they really enjoyed being out there, which, that's what you would expect. That's what you would hope. And I think they both have tremendous futures here.
Speaking of futures, obviously Kamoko's a guy a lot of people look towards the NFL. I know you have a game to play, but how do you see him as a NFL prospect, having, I'm sure, been around many yourself at other places?
Well, he's got the skill set that they're going to be looking for in terms of pass rush ability, that's for sure. I think from one organization to the next, it's just always changes as far as what they're looking for, whether they're a 3-4 team, a 4-3 team. If you're a 4-3 defensive end, typically they're bigger guys, but the outside backers, he would fall into that type of a category for a lot of different organizations, I would imagine. But it's been good for him to get into the system that we've built this year because it's given him an opportunity to drop into coverage some as well as rush the passer and show a diversified set of skills and talents that he has. So, hopefully he gets himself healthy here right after the season's over with and has a real good run at it and a long, productive future there. So we're pulling for him.
He didn't obviously work out his plan this year because of injuries, but when you look at that secondary that you have, and Hester and Wharton and Austin and Hampton, they all have another year left, and then KJ Gray. And what is the future potential for that group, assuming, like I said, they'll all be back?
Well, I think it's bright. A lot of guys in there that will have playing experience. A lot of guys that will have shown that they can produce and be successful in the Big Ten. I would expect that to be a strength of our defense going into next year, just because of those reasons. And that should be the mentality and the attitude that they have as they approach it, and I'm sure they will have.
Any other questions?
Okay, thank you.